she stands there singing for money.
Muggy, grim, grey day, but we're still going to make the most of it, aren't we? How are you feeling, Daniel?
I'm feeling good. Feeling good. Back into the swing of it. The weather sucks.
You know what? So yesterday, 30 degrees during the day, thunderstorms in the evening. Now, if you told me that it was a perfect day during the day yesterday and that we were expecting thunderstorms, you wouldn't believe it. It's crazy.
It's a bit silly, to be honest.
It is very silly. I mean, come on, Jesus, let's pick up your game as the rain comes dazzling down as we speak. So, obviously, Bali, I mean, it's been unreal. The fact that we're still talking about it, I think, is a great thing. And there's a lot of stories from it, obviously. So to open up every episode, or as many episodes as we can, we're going to take you guys and gals through a little bit of a story, something that might have occurred over the period of the holiday, if you want to call it a holiday. So my story has a bit of humour, has a bit of worry, and I would say it was a near-death experience. So we were out one night in the Bali in the early hours of the morning. Sean Nealon decided to come home by himself.
Not a good call.
Felt a bit sick, I assume. Obviously, you get the Gojek and you head home. Now, he was the first one to go home, but Jackson Wilson, shout out Jackson Wilson, a great listener of the podcast, was home. He didn't come out. He was at home and he was asleep. Now, Sean Nealon, as he does, forgets a lot of things, and he forgot the keys to the front house, to the front door. And now, so he knows Jackson's home. He's trying to ring him. Jackson fell asleep multiple nights to TikToks while his phone was open, continuously playing. So he was asleep, knocked out. Sean, trying to contact him, could not contact him. So Sean needs to find a way to get into the villa. Now, he thought, okay, I'm just going to jump the fence. Now, this wasn't a fence. This was like a brick great wall, about 6 to 7 meters high. You couldn't jump it. He climbs up the fence. Now, on the top of our fence, there were like these glass shards all over the fence.
To stop intruders.
To stop exactly what Sean decided to do. Sean jumps the fence, and as he's going over, slices the top of his elbow area from the glass.
Jeez.
Blood was about a 4 centimeter wide cut. I'd say about maybe 3 to 3.5 centimeters deep. Maybe millimeters, if that's a thing. Anyway, he's knocking on so there's blood all over his arm, and he's laughing. He goes to Jackson's room, knocks on the door. Hey, Jackson, look, I've just cut myself. Anyway, it stays like that for about half an hour, 45 minutes. He's put a towel on it. So we come home. We've seen that the towel is wrapped over it. And we're going back I go to sleep. Harry's asleep. We're in the room. Next minute, Sean gets up. Blood everywhere. And he goes, I think I'm losing too much blood. Slams, collapses straight onto the tiles. Collapses straight onto the ground. Unconscious, unresponsive. I hear me and Harry are asleep, like half asleep. I hear Sam Nealon, his twin brother, actually getting angry at Sean for not getting up when he is unresponsive. And that's basically the near-death experience. Mothers were called. Nick Cesario, Jackson Wilson treated the wound. And that's it. So what do you learn from that, Sean? And it's not just funny stories for us as a friend group. I think people can relate to this. You just don't jump fences. Daniel?
My story isn't so much... It's kind of near death. It could have gone either way. So we went out for dinner, and then the rest of the group decided we're full. We're going home. Me and many people know Nick Shalhoub decided we're going to go get some dessert. I had a bit of a sweet tooth going. And we noticed this ice cream place as we were driving to the venue.
Yep.
Across, which was probably 200 metres away. So we thought we'll just walk.
Yep.
And we're walking along the footpath, and it's pitch black. There's no street lights. And next to us is just a rice field farm. It's our restaurant, 200 metres of farm, ice cream shop.
Common view.
And we're walking, and Nick's in front of me. It's been raining, so the floor is very slippery.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just, on my phone, walking, till I hear, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Look to my right, and I just see Nick running.
Yep.
Look to my right, and I see this huge body. This huge bull is centimetres away from me.
Did you say bull?
It was a bull. It had horns. Massive. And it's facing horizontally, so it looks even bigger. And I'm like, holy shit! And I start running to try not to slip. Then we stop. Think we're away from it. Look to the right again. There's another one. It was in the pitch black, just seeing that huge body, not thinking what it is. Just your first thought is run. And
Shaloub, not even saying why.
If it was
leaving in the dust,
if the bull was angry, it could have been a different story.
100%. I mean, there were a lot of other angry bulls that weren't actually animals on the streets of Bali, with all due respect. All right, that's it, Daniel. Moving on to the first segment, the 10 for 10. Do you want to start us off with this one? I'll get the timer up.
I will start us.
Stay within the minute.
Okay.
Let's go.
My first topic is something I saw that in 1923, a group of scientists predicted what they thought 2023 would be like.
Okay.
And there were some interesting takeaways.
Yep.
Number one, a 300-year life expectancy was
that's
predicted. Incorrect. Obviously. Life expectancy is around, 80?
Depends
85?
where you are. It's 80 to 85 years old. Correct.
And the second one, war won't exist.
War won't exist? Well,
Don't know how you can formulate that opinion.
Well, there's a war going on right now.
Exactly. I don't know what made them think that. And number three, women will shave their heads and blacken their teeth as it will be more appealing for the male attraction.
Look, Daniel, some people have some weird preferences, and that might have been one of them at the time.
It was actually the vice versa as well for men, that they will have long hair, like it will be a switch from the stereotypical look. I just wrote that down because I thought, what makes them think, oh yeah, this is going to happen, this is going to happen? Like, what gives them that impression?
My first one, Daniel, in the news this week, Madeleine McCann. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Madeleine. You're obviously a listener of the podcast. This woman has been missing for 15 plus years and has come out of nowhere and revealed that she is her via, I can't remember what it was, but she's been missing from the age of 4. Now, the parents of Madeleine have been looking for her this whole time, and I'll quote Fitzy and Whippy here of Nova 96.9. They've been looking for her for this whole time, and will look for her till they pass away. Now, this supposed Madeleine McCann has committed to doing a DNA test, but she's been missing from the age of 4. The woman claiming to be her has no photos of her before the age of 4, and there is a distinct mark on her left eye that this woman does have. Crazy shit. People should look into this.
Bit long on that one there. Number 2, I've got a question, and it's, what is happening to TikTok?
What is happening to TikTok?
My For You page is covered in those videos where it's the TV show clip on the top and someone playing one of those shitty iPhone games on the bottom. Have you seen them?
I have. Well,
so it's literally every second video. Sometimes I get 5 in a row. People are obviously making money off this, posting. So I've got written down that first it was Family Guy when it started, but now it's turned into South Park.
Well, Daniel, the algorithm gives you what you have been liking, so I would suggest maybe stop liking these videos.
But it's just,
stop watching.
There's
these
so
videos.
many accounts posting them that it's just constant. And it's just becoming mind-numbing head noise for myself. There's some that I watch and they do make me laugh, but other ones it's like I think I've genuinely watched all of Family Guy.
Well, Daniel, when you're on it for hours, it can get quite boring. Number 2 for me, Daniel. Married at First Sight, one of the greatest reality TV shows of all time. What a waste of time, though, for the contestants. Now, in the most recent episode, one of the couple's partners, the female side, has come out and admitted to kissing one of the other married men in another relationship within the first 3 days of the experiment.
Jeez.
Now, Jesse, the victim in this thing. He is a low-key spastic. He is crazy. He is very crazy. But as you would be if you've given up all this time and someone has just basically ruined the experiment for you within the first 3 days.
Yes.
I do see a bit of acting, though, within these. Of
course.
Show. If you haven't get on Mavs, people get on it.
Has to be a bit of scripting in there. Number 3, some new Pixar movies got announced during the week, and I've got some big questions. So there was 3 announced, and the first 2 are Frozen 3 and Zootopia 2, which I think do what you want. You're obviously trying to make money from the younger generations. Frozen's was a big one.
Maybe you as
right?
well, Daniel. You seem to be very interested.
Can you just let me talk on the point? And then, the third one announced is Toy Story 5.
Yep.
How on earth is there a Toy Story 5?
Why fix what it ain't broke?
Number 4, I watched number 4. That was questionable. Definitely the worst one released. Woody at the end of number 4. Pardon?
Recently?
Woody at the end of number 4 literally leaves.
Don't spoil it.
The rest of them.
Okay.
So they're apart. How is there going to be a number 5?
Well, I can already tell you what's going to happen. He's going to come back to the rest of the Toy Story.
It just doesn't. It's just obviously they're doing it for the money.
Harry Styles was in Australia, Daniel, over the week and performing in Perth as a concert. And the American version of the Daily Mail have released an article of him doing a shoey at the concert. Now, the way the Daily Mail described the action of a shoey was labelled as a disgusting Australian tradition. Styles admitted that he was ashamed in doing it and will discuss it in length with his therapist. Now,
Is that actually what he said?
That is what he said. Without any seriousness, I'm assuming, in it, but still, the fact that Australian actions is looked as that, if he's discussing that with his therapist, can we talk about maybe Bam Bam seeing he may have to see a counsellor because Bam Bam's doing shoeys left, right, and centre. I mean,
It's
Harry,
obviously not as traumatic for himself.
Embrace it, Harry, and don't disrespect it like that, please. Anyway, that's that one.
Number 4, Prime has been released in Australia.
Is that official?
Drink. Yeah, supposedly it came out actually today, 22nd.
We're going to get some.
Who really gives a shit is my headline for that.
Wow. Okay.
I've seen multiple false reviews where influencers get sent it and they say it's amazing, it's life changing. You'd think the way they act, and then you see these honest reviews that say it tastes like medicine.
That's obviously the grape flavour,
but there's a lot of them are like that. And then you look to the people. Like if it's your interest, if you're that much of a fan of these two, good on you. But if you're camping out for a bottle of Prime, someone say behave yourself.
Wait a week. No one's going to be camping in 1 week.
It's like camping out for a bottle of Gatorade. Would you do that? No. Just behave yourself. I don't think we'll be trying it in the next 3 months because it'll be sold out everywhere.
Everywhere.
But when we can get our hands on it, we'll do an honest review.
University is back, Daniel, and I couldn't be any more disappointed. Now, me and Nick and Obi we've talked about the concept of uni friends multiple times. It's an ongoing conversation, ongoing debate, who actually they are. Now, we've made a pact to perhaps make one friend over the semester. This will be a challenge. We'll keep you guys updated. But I wanted to go over my actual anxiety moving into the first tutorial and the icebreakers. I'm already going through it in my head about what I'm going to say. It's just...
If you put me in a breakout room and thinking, invite me to a breakout room and think I'm going to stay in that Zoom call, I'm not pressing accept, I'm pressing end call. I was never there.
You'd have to.
Breakout rooms are the worst. My last one is, again, movie related. Ant-Man 3 has been released. Marvel, the thing I've gotten written down is that Marvel has definitely fallen off.
Why so?
Ant-Man 3. Why is there a third Ant-Man movie? Who cares?
Trilogy.
Who cares?
There's a lot of trilogies around.
It leads me to believe it's getting some. Apparently, it's been rated based on score as the second worst Marvel movie of all time, out of all 500 of them.
Yeah.
And it does lead me to believe that with this constant decline occurring now with these movies they're releasing, all the old characters will be returning in one movie in the future to rebuild that hype that they had for the previous ones. They've lost the only one I kind of can care about is Spider-Man. I'd be interested in seeing.
That's the thing. They'll bring him back for one movie, stay relevant for one movie, and then it goes back.
And then it goes back. They'll do some sort of we never died or something, and then they'll all come back. Because if your best movie is Ant-Man 3, there's some problems.
Lent, Daniel, has begun the 40-day period.
Is in the 10 for 10.
40-day period where you give up something you love. Now, I was looking at the BuzzFeed article, and let's just say religious people are just not funny. I had a look at something that was saying funny things that are being given up for Lent. Now, one of them was that Tom Brady gave up football and is coming back after announcing his retirement. Not very funny, is it?
Someone call it tactical.
Now, this one said, I'm giving up for Lent. Not quitting anything. The joke is that I'm giving friends the hit Pixar film as a gift.
Okay.
Hashtag Catholic humor. Hashtag lol. Now, that was a tweet from Rob Delaney. Rob Delaney, just don't quit your day job because that is hard to read.
No one's ever told Rob to be a comedian.
I assume hard to listen to. Now, the 10 for 10 is done, Daniel. Moving on to...
Before we move on, actually.
Of course, hit me.
I'd love to tell a story about a Lent experience.
Go for it.
I remember this vividly. It was year 2. And we had to write down what we were giving up for Lent.
Yep.
So when we were growing up, we'd give up chocolate, right? That was always the go. We'd get told we're giving up chocolate.
Yeah.
But in year 2, I wrote down, I actually acted, I thought I was very smart. I acted like my favorite food in the world was something that I hated. I don't know if this is correct. I think it was something, it was definitely a vegetable.
Would have been.
I think it was mushrooms. And I wrote down, I'm giving up mushrooms.
The psychedelic drug or the actual vegetable?
The vegetable. And I didn't eat them. And I thought I've absolutely finessed the system here.
But did anyone believe that a year 2 kid loved
I'm giving
mushrooms?
up mushrooms. It was on the wall in the classroom. Everyone's was chocolate, lollies, Daniel. Mushrooms.
And year 2, Daniel, you were a bit porky. You would have...
What are you... You're really going in on me, aren't you?
No one would have assumed that you were giving up a vegetable.
Or maybe I was consuming massive amounts of mushrooms.
Maybe the teachers thought you had a drug issue. Who would have known? What a story. That was a great input.
I think it's just you can't... It's just finessing the system was the main goal.
The list is back this week, Daniel.
I want to go first.
Okay. Hit us with the sound to start off to introduce the segment.
You just made the list! Oh my gosh.
So last week I went for someone in the friend group. This week I'm going for someone in the public arena.
Yep, let's go.
And that is Jericho Sims.
You just made the list!
So Jericho Sims, the New York Knicks.
Who is
player.
he? The basketball player?
Basketball player. Probably put up the worst NBA dunk contest performance I've ever seen in my life.
Receiving a lot of hate
which is hard to do. I'm embarrassed for you. Jericho. So in the first round of the dunk contest, there's 4 contestants. You get 2 dunks each, and then the 2 best from the scores from those 2 go to the final round.
Yep, correct.
So you get 2 dunks.
Yep.
I want you to tell me, in what planet would you think it's a good idea to do your first dunk and get an average score, and then your second dunk is the exact same thing?
But I'd say worse.
He did the same thing twice.
Yeah.
The first one, he put his arms through the rim and then showed a paper that said 50, as if he was going to get a score of 50. Mm-hmm. He got around a 45. So he didn't get 50. Embarrassing moment number 1. Then he did it again without the paper. He just did the same thing. He was just trying to show, like, don't get me, it's impressive how high he could jump.
And that's about it.
But why would you do this same one twice after you get an average score the first time, especially? It was like I watched it on the highlights of it, and I thought the video had rewinded itself.
Yeah, like a replay.
Because he did the same thing twice.
Yeah,
woeful performance. It's probably the worst of all time, in considering he did the same thing twice. And that is why this week my list member, Jericho Sims, that is why.
You just made the list! Oh
was an abysmal performance, but yes, he probably wasn't as athletic as the smaller guys who could jump. So, but if you're taller and you're getting up that high, you've got a lot more time in the air. You can do a lot more, Jericho. Will he get another invite back? I'm not too sure.
Doubt it.
My list, remember, Daniel, is the complete opposite. I've actually gone for a friend this week, and I've gone Jeremy Halbert.
You just made the list! Oh, my gosh.
Over the weekend, we're lucky enough to have 21st Tom Bentley. Happy birthday for the other week. Now, you go out. We went out into the city, as you do. After the festivities have been completed, you obviously are hungry. The same process every night. I'm actually, people do get sick of it, but you just get the HSP snack pack. You get the halal snack pack. Now, what I'm about to say, it was a stab in the heart because me and Jeremy go way back in indulging in snack packs, ordering mixed snack packs with the Holy Trinity. That is barbecue sauce, sweet chili sauce, and garlic sauce. There's no other way. Hit me in the comments if you think there is no other way, but there's no other way because this is the Holy Trinity mixed snack pack with that selection of sauces. Now, over the weekend, I was stunned, I was ashamed, and I was disgusted to see Jeremy Halbert open his snack pack to, I believe it was just beef or lamb, garlic sauce, and about 4 kilos of shaved red onion on top of the snack pack.
That's disgusting.
Red onion. Now,
how's your breath after that?
I was too disgusted to even ask. Maybe it was a mistake, so I'm not too sure if it was a mistake. But having red onion on top of the snack pack, not only would it taste not too good, the breath after it.
Commented, yes.
I'd hope you have nothing planned after it, Jeremy, because that would have been at least a deal breaker.
At least you have a whole packet of gum in your pocket.
Extra mints, maybe Chew 5 Gum Intense Peppermint. I believe they released that new flavour. Could not believe it. Could not believe it. Now, I may be over-exaggerating a lot, but maybe this is a thing. Maybe we should try it.
I won't be trying it.
And when I say it was covered in red onion, it was covered. There were other snack pack actions that were done by other people that on the podcast, it's too grim to mention. Some people know what I'm talking about. Could not believe it. And I want to make another formal shout out. Maybe we start a new segment, weird things people get on snack packs, because shout out Ethan Alexiou. After our trip from Bali, he comes home at the airport. We're talking about, what are we going to get when we go home? What are we going to indulge in? He sends a photo of him at his residence of a snack pack just with lamb, garlic sauce, barbecue sauce, with fucking lettuce on top of it.
That's disgusting.
What does the lettuce provide? Everyone knows lettuce tastes like pretty much nothing.
He probably maybe he's conscious of the health.
It was iceberg lettuce, and it's literally the name. It's ice, so it basically tastes like water. And you're putting it on top of a snack pack. Look, maybe it's a health thing. Maybe it's a health kick.
The only thing you should be putting on top of the snack pack is any type of sauce.
Correct, Daniel. Correct. Maybe a bit of mozz. Maybe a bit of mozzarella cheese.
What about tomato sauce on a snack pack?
Oh, stop. Let's stop it right there. Let's just stop the podcast right there.
The person who, I'm not going to name them, they know who they are. This has been an argument for about 4.5 years.
Oh,
tomato sauce on, and it's just chicken as well.
Is he an ethnic?
Pardon? We're not going to.
Is he of ethnicity? Because I get Aussie vibes from that. I get Aussie vibes from that.
Chicken snack pack with tomato sauce on it. That has just rekindled the fire inside me for my hatred for that. Your comments.
Let's end it there, Daniel. Let's end it there, please. Can we end it there?
Yeah, there's some questionable choices.
Well, I'm fired up now. Well, that's the end of another great session. JDS Podcast, Season 3, Episode 2. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great week. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the weekend. And like, comment, share, subscribe. There's a lot of talking points coming from this one that have to be publicized. I mean, who else talks about Lent and snack packs and Jericho Sims?
Lent was
freaking podcast. Come on.
Lent was a bit of a curveball, I thought. Wasn't expected to talk about the Catholic Church in this episode.
Shout out the Catholic Church doing great things in the world. That's the end.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen with all due respect, this week's episode's a good one.
It's a great one.
Go watch that after this finishes. Guess we'll just see you next week.
See you next week, guys. Have a great week. Trot.